Commissioner Rob Manfred on the Little League broadcast that asked him about the eventual realignment that could occur. And he's like, yeah, of course. I mean, he said, quote, I think the owners realize there's demand for MLB in a lot of great cities, and we have an opportunity to do something good around that expansion process. But I mean, the juicy part was the opportunity for them to separate this by region. Duh.
Were they making it like the NBA, like the East and the Western Conference, and then they're going to play it off like that?
Yeah.
Is that what they want to do?
He talked.
I heard his interview, and
you heard about the West Coast games for the East Coast teams, and that hurts the ratings and all that. Like,
but they still have that in other leagues. You still have to. The Braves still have to go play the Mariners every other year,
but less of it.
How's it going to be less of it?
Because they're going to realign and have divisions like what Jim.
But
aren't
everybody still going to play everybody? Everybody love everybody. No?
Yeah, everybody love everybody, but only a little bit. So you get less of the.
So basically, who this affects? Texas and Houston. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It only affects Texas and Houston because they have to go to the West Coast and play the Angels and the Mariners twice a year. That's it. What else does it affect? It doesn't change one other team. It affects two teams.
You're saying because the divisions already are regionalized enough.
Tell me which team travels more. There's two teams that travel two time zones.
No. Sorry. American League and National League, right?
Yeah.
Has teams from all over the country put together. Now, like you said with NBA, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. We have a board built for this. Jim Bowden wrote about this, I think, a year or two ago. And
the time zones have nothing to. That was the one thing where I'm like, that doesn't matter. Because because in the NBA, the Lakers and the Celtics still play one home game and one road game. They still got to go over there. The Mets are still going to have to travel to Anaheim every other year because they do the thing. So once a year, they're going to still have to travel there unless they change the schedule back to, where in the division is more.
But
right?
it'll be less of that
schedule
because you're going to play your Eastern Conference games more than your interleague or interconference games.
Dude, you don't.
Why?
You don't.
Why am I off?
What don't you? Okay, so what? Every team plays.
I understand that every team plays every team, but for example, like you said, okay, the Mets playing the Angels every other year. One time they're playing in Anaheim, so that's a lot less than the Mets will play every team in the National League, right? Or even let's use the Yankees.
They already play every team in the National League.
The Yankees are a better example, right? Because they're in the American League. So are the Angels. Okay.
Yeah.
So they play in Anaheim every year.
Okay.
So if this scenario plays out, they're going to play them every other year. So it's less. Why is that?
I mean, it's stupid to me. That was the one thing he said that was stupid. Now they want expansion because they want the money.
Yeah, of course.
That's what they want.
But you don't have to expand and realign. They're talking about realignment.
Of course
which
they want to realign.
To a lot of people was like, wait, what? They've been talking about that for a long time. Wait, why is it crazy? You're saying it's crazy to do it?
So let me ask. So why would you, if you go East and West, right? The NBA does it. Right? We're going to use the NBA because they're East and West.
Yeah.
Can't use football because they don't play everybody every year. But why? I understand what you're saying about they only go. So you mean to tell me that they're going to take a traditional American League team like the Angels, and you're going to take every team and put them, like say American League team, National League, and I saw the divisions they're talking about doing, whatever. You're going to take the whole western half of the U.S. and the whole eastern half of the U.S. And the East Coast teams are really only going to play the East Coast. They're only going to play the West Coast teams on the road once every other year.
Potentially, yeah. That's a big difference.
And it's a huge difference, but I don't get why. Why can't they still do? I don't know. Whatever.
Gas is expensive on those planes.
Wait.
So let's show the layout here while Kratz goes through his answer. So we can show the new divisions because I think this helps to explain things. Now, this isn't what MLB laid out. This is what Jim Bowden laid out in the scenario.
This is also from 2 years ago.
Yeah, this is dated, and also keep in mind that the expansion is going to include a West Coast team, so it's going to be a little off because in this scenario, Bowden put two Eastern Conference teams in, right? In Nashville and in Charlotte. But he has the East Division as the Red Sox, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Phillies. The North Division of the Eastern Conference has the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays fans are like, hooey, let's get out of the East.
Yeah.
Mid-Atlantic Division, Baltimore, Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and Washington. I'd be very thrilled to be in that division too. Southeast Division, Atlanta, Nashville, and Tampa Bay.
Miami.
Midwest Division, Chicago, both Chicago teams, Milwaukee, Minnesota. Southwest Division has the Astros, the Rangers, the Cardinals, and the Royals in the middle of the country. And then the Pacific Coast Division would be the Rockies, the A's, Vegas A's, the Mariners, and the Giants, followed by the West Division with the Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Padres. Kratz?
I like it. I like it for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are going to freaking – they're going to be a large market team and small market. They're going to look down on those dudes and be like, you guys don't spend any money. We're going to annihilate this division. I like it. I actually hope – I know we're not getting to our teams that we're going to – we think – or cities that should –
You can mix it in. Go ahead. Yeah.
But I love that Charlotte's in there. I love that Charlotte is in there. I think Nashville – if Nashville isn't a lock, I don't know I don't know who screws it up if Nashville isn't a lock. Just – as far as region-wise and everything. But Charlotte, I think, is a big league city. I get it. You need something out on the West Coast or towards the West to really kind of make that alignment more symmetrical. But I think it's great. I think it's great for Major League Baseball. They get to keep all the big players in one division in the whatever the East. Whatever that Eastern division is, I'm not sure even what that was, but it's all large markets. It'll force everybody to keep complaining that division has all the big teams and all that good stuff. But I like it. I don't think it changes as much as people think. My hope is that less travel, if there is less travel, if they can show that there's less travel, that it does help with players' injuries because then we get to see the stars more often.
That's a competitive advantage, though, if you're Toronto, and that's how the division plays out, because then you get to watch the Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, and Phillies beat each other up if you think those are the teams that are going to be in better positions.
FT fans, you want to have confidence when you go out in public? Absolutely. We can't all wear a backwards hat like me, but you can get some True Classic fit shirts. It almost looks like, oh, wow, this shirt was tailored for me. Nope, it's every True Classic. This John is soft, it is smooth, and it makes you look a little jacked. I'm just saying.
And Kratz, you are jacked, and you are spot on. True Classic is the spot to go if someone's like, where do I get shirts? True Classic. The colors are fantastic. They've sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers. Their shirts just win. The feel, the tailored look, the price. We all wear True Classic on FT. I mean, Cam Maben literally can't say enough about them, too, next time we have Cam on. Hit up trueclassic.com/Val. Give it a shot. Upgrade your wardrobe and save on True Classic at trueclassic.com/Val. That's trueclassic.com/FOUL. But wait, let's get to the core of this. Fans are like, you can't realign. You can't draw this out.
I just don't like the fact that you won't. I think there's a way to keep the National and the American League. I don't know. I'm more of a traditionalist in that sense. Like I don't have a problem when teams switch leagues and all that. You still have a National American League, but we're not the NBA. Okay, it's not the NBA. That's the thing. Why make it East and West? I don't know.
Why not?
Travel, I get it, but teams have always had to deal with that. So listen, whatever they want to do, they're going to do.
That doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, if they came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to cut down the travel, some of the trips."
Central, dude, my travel was easy. I never had a problem.
When you were on the Red Sox,
when I was in the Giants, you had to go east or
Red Sox.
Red Sox sucks. People think Red Sox, Boston's close to New York. It ain't.
So I'm saying if you're on Boston, it's now, hey, we're going to make life a lot easier for you with travel. It matters. Seattle, they deal with a lot.
Yeah, they do.
That's tough for them. That's an underrated component of what the Mariners deal with every year. Yeah. They travel more than almost every team every year.
Here's my one comment. And obviously, this is not locked in stone who it's going to be, but Major League Baseball has Boston, or Jim Bowden has Boston, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, all in their own division. What do they all have in common that every other team wants, but they don't have? They have their own TV
network.
channel. They have their own network. Now, what if they start selling these divisions, these conferences by the groups? Because that's what Manfred wants. Just saying.
Phillies don't have their own network like that.
They have NBC Philly.
Yeah, it's part of NBC.
It's NBC Sports, but it's NBC Philly. It's essentially their own. I mean,
their own thing.
Right. I mean, the Giants also have the same NBC Sports.
Yeah, but it's not their own network. They don't
Right,
own
they don't own
They
it.
don't own
It's not
the
an
network.
O&O. Yeah.
Like the Mets and the Yankees and the Red Sox do. They own their network.
That's, to me, that's a whole separate
That's
argument.
a whole different thing.
That's a
but
business
the other
which
thing
we've
about
talked
this,
about a
think
lot.
about this. Would certain places get better ratings, like that Mets, Phillies, Yankees, that would get, he's all worried about like the TV ratings, but then you throw in, the Reds, that division with Toronto, those ratings are going to probably be less, not knock on those fans. There's just less people there.
How about this? You're going to have more matchups between the Mets and the Yankees, the Cubs and the White Sox. You want a little more of that? No?
They play 6 times a year already. They're going to play 12 times a year. Then it waters it down, I feel like, a little bit. Doesn't make it as special. Now, again.
You're on the White Sox, and it's just like, hey, going to Wrigley again.
The travel's great, but I played in the Central. The travel is always great in the Central.
It's going to happen. For people that are complaining about it, this has been planned for a long time. The surprising thing to me,
the expansion teams. Do they go to Nashville and Portland? Do they go to Nashville and Salt Lake? Can they find teams that'll give them $2 billion or $4 billion, whatever the expansion fee, whatever they decide it is, and then they got to build a stadium, and then they got to do the teams and everything. So you're looking at $5 to $6 billion to get a team. There ain't a lot of places that can do that.
Mm-hmm. I know. Go ahead. Quick, say your teams. Because we got to go in a sec.
I said Portland.
Yeah, you guys both think Nashville.
Right. I said Nashville and Salt Lake.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I got Nashville and Salt Lake as well. Just it's a pure money government situation. Is there money there from an ownership group? Mm-hmm. Is the government on board to give a lot of tax dollars? That's how they put these things together. That is the biggest factor. Obviously, they've got to make sure it's a market that they think is going to succeed. Blah blah blah. But anyway, the part to me that was shocking about this yesterday wasn't that Manfred spoke about it. I don't think he said anything that surprising. I was just like, why did fans not know? This has been talked about for 10 years. People were like, breaking news. Rob Manfred talking about realignment. I'm like, they've been talking about this forever.
Has been talked about forever.
Yeah. So
that's his legacy. That's his legacy. He wants it done. He'll get it done.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. Call me new school. I think it's fine. We can make changes.